Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube video. Today I'm trying something new. My dream is to either write a book or be the person who reads the books in audiobooks. Today I'm going to read you the first chapter of a book I'm writing. It is about this girl who finds a powerful rock and then gains plant-based superpowers from that one rock. If you want to hear more of this book, please let me know in the comments below, if I can get them to work this time. And without further ado, have fun listening to the story. The Great Mess Up, Chapter 1. I love you, Sam yelled in the cheesiest way possible. I always have. His voice cracked. I knew it was only nerves. It was one of his first auditions, but I didn't know how to cheer him up. I raised my hands in an attempt at calming his nerves. He noticed and smiled at me. I probably made it worse. He walked off, and I gave him a friendly hug. You did it, I cheered. I knew you could. My name was called. Ashlynn, you're up. I walked to the middle of the room, in front of everyone. I couldn't stop practicing the monologue in my head. I can do this. I can do this, I repeated over and over again under my breath. I wanted the lead so bad. It would be my first if I got it. Hi, my name is Ashlynn, and I will be performing a monologue I wrote titled... I hesitated. Frick. I forgot to name the monologue. Monologue. Why did I title it a monologue? It made no sense to the actual monologue. I ended up improvising the entire thing. Hi, the best way to start a story ending in world domination. I finished the monologue and hoped my fear didn't show through. I ran to Sam as he comforted me by holding my hand. You did amazing, he told me. I didn't know you decided to change your monologue from yesterday. Me neither, I responded. I had practiced on him the day before, more accurately the month before, and it meant a lot to me that he had noticed the change. He chuckled. So, improv, huh? I can't wait to see you on the top of the cast list. I blushed. His messy blonde hair flowed in a way I hadn't noticed before. Yeah, right, I scoffed. Everyone's so talented. I'll be lucky if I get a part. He playfully elbowed me. That's completely false. It's class. We're guaranteed at least ensemble. I laughed and we watched the rest of the class audition. They all did outstanding. Gabe had the most dramatic monologue ever, while Tatiana had a comedy. I couldn't hold in my laugh, and everyone stared at me. After everyone left, I decided to walk home. I wish I could have just drove, but I had failed my driver's test the day before. Just then, Sam texted me. Hey, Ash. Hey, what's up? We started talking about the weather, and I laughed at his jokes. I was on my phone when I didn't see a huge rock and I tripped straight on my face. Nothing happened. I had put my hands up to stop my fall when I didn't hit the floor. I was hovering. I felt as light as a feather. I couldn't move. I didn't believe what happened. I suddenly felt a push. Something helped me up. All I could see was an overgrown vine with a giant leaf on top. I noticed there was a bright pink and yellow rock on top. I slowly reached out to grab it when I heard a honk come from behind me. It was Sam. You want a ride? He asked in a way that made me blush. Shouldn't you be halfway home by now? I asked when I realized the only way for him to have taken that long was for him to follow me. I gave him a playful stare. No. He stretched the no in a way that I knew he was lying. My car just broke down. Yeah, it definitely broke down, but it's fine now. I quickly grabbed the rock and climbed into his car. Thanks. No problem, he smirked. What's that? You will not believe what just happened, I exclaimed. What happened? I thought for a moment. No, it's too crazy. You wouldn't believe me anyway. He looked into my eyes as if to say, I'd believe you. Okay, just promise not to tell anyone. I promise. So, on the way home, I started, I was texting you and didn't see a rock. I fell, but he didn't let me finish. Oh my gosh, are you okay? I didn't actually hit the floor. How'd you fall but not hit the floor? He asked, clearly confused. I honestly don't know, I replied. It was as if I was hovering. Crash! A few cars in front of us crashed into each other. Sam quickly jumped out of the car to see if everyone was okay. I followed to find that no one was in the crashed car. They clearly weren't self-driving cars. We both looked at each other. I stepped closer to Sam and looked around. No one was there. It was only me and Sam. Sam? I asked in a horrified way. What's happening? Sam looked at me, shocked. Could I have done that? Could it have been me who made all those people disappear? Sam's point of view. Not again. Why again? Sam? Ashlynn asked. What's happening? Does she know? Does she know everything? I said, not knowing what to do. Are you okay? I think so, she replied, her beautiful brown hair blowing in front of her face. She looked down at her hands and back up to me. It's probably because of this. She held up the stone. I recognized it now, but I didn't want to believe it. Put that away, I snapped, and she slowly put it in her pocket. Sorry, I think I know what that is now. Don't use it and don't tell anyone, okay? Ashlynn looked into my eyes. We were the only thing that existed that moment. Okay, she replied, shocked. But what is it and how do I use it? Please, just don't tell anyone, I pleaded. And wait here. I started off into a different direction. I knew what my father wanted me to do, but I didn't know why Ashlynn was here too. Where are you going? She asked. And why can't I go with you? I looked into her beautiful brown eyes. I wanted to bring her, but I knew that'd be a mistake. I'll tell you later. As soon as I was out of sight, I opened the portal and jumped through. Why again, Dad? I mumbled to myself before I made it to his workshop. I see you got the message, he told me. What took you so long? You know, destroying time and space, then putting back together isn't the only way to get my attention, right? It's quicker, he replied. Plus, it got the job done. I was with a girl, Dad. Why do you need to? He cut me off. Because the key was found. Because what your ancestors have been looking for all of our life was found. But not by us. As long as it's out there, we are in grave danger. You didn't happen to see it, did you? No! I retorted, more defensively than I had meant to. No. But what if this person who found it would never hurt anyone, and no one has to worry? Then they are not worthy of the power it holds, and it will slowly devour them. I didn't say anything, just thought of Ashlynn and what she had gotten herself into. I knew she was close enough to her house to get home safely, but I knew her too well to know she probably, definitely, had gotten herself in trouble. The stories my dad told me about the key scared me, but no one knew what the key actually looked like. I might be worrying about nothing. I hope I'm worrying about nothing. Ashlynn's point of view. I just stood there. I didn't know what to do and what was even happening, so I just stood there, staring off into where Sam had gone. I looked at Sam's car to find it had disappeared. Cars honking let me out of my trance. People reappeared, cars moved, and I was right in the middle of it. I ran out of the road and onto the sidewalk. I followed where Sam had gone. I looked all around him and could only find scorch marks everywhere. I wished that I had followed him to see what he did, but I didn't, and I couldn't change that now. I took out the rock once more, and it started to glow. Did Sam know more than he was letting on? I was out of sight, and something tapped me on the shoulder. I was terrified. I didn't want to look back. I had thought no one was there. I tentatively turned my head and saw a very overgrown plant. It had looked exactly like the one I saw earlier that had helped me up. Hello? I asked, looking around. To my surprise, the plant responded. Not with words, but it seemed to nod its head. I stepped back, startled, but still not believing that this plant was real, not believing any of this was real. Ignoring my suspicions, I reached my hand out. I saw in movies when they would find a creature and then try to pet them, so I did the same thing. The plant reacted. It really reacted. It reached forward and touched my hand. To my surprise, it didn't feel like a normal plant, as if it was a normal plant, but it felt softer than anything I had ever felt before. What are you? I asked the plant. It grew two little vines on opposite sides down the middle, clearly representing arms. It signaled to itself as if to say, What do you think? Sorry, I replied stupidly. Stupid question. How are you here? The plant grew 2 little leaps with its arms and grabbed the rock right out of my hand. Hey! I yelled, trying my best to grab the rock Sam had told me not to lose. Give that back! The plant continued to keep the rock away from me, like an older brother teasing his significantly shorter sister. I need that! The plant only shook the rock as if to say, Come and get it. I couldn't let Sam down. If he knew what the rock was, he could possibly need it. I looked around to find something to climb on, some way to get that rock back. That's when I found it, a dumpster with boxes piled up next to it. This is my chance. I lowered the plant closer to the dumpster. It seemed to know what I was doing, but it did it anyway. I was confused, but it was working, so I couldn't complain. When I got close enough to the dumpster, I made a run for it. I jumped on the boxes and fell right through them. The boxes were hollow and broke at first touch. I didn't give up. I kept jumping and trying to grab onto the top of the dumpster to climb up. I did it. I really did it. I had finally reached the top of the dumpster, and the plant was still there. I stood up and got ready to jump when I lost my footing and fell right into the fresh pile of trash. When I had finally gotten the rotten banana off my face, I looked up to see the plant was laughing at me. What are you laughing at? I defended, embarrassed yet still pissed. It dropped the rock on my chest, and I quickly grabbed it. I struggled up and out of the dumpster. I looked at the plant, rock clutched in hand. It was riding in the dirt. That was fun. Are you ready for the adventure, mystery man?